we know that we wanted, that there was a goal to get there, to be able to grow a team, to be able to work with great clients, to do great work. But then it's just been about all the small steps that we took along the way. That I spend every single day outside my comfort zone. This is outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
When I walk into meetings, pitches, when I work with my team, when I interrogate briefs, when I present work back, when I build out strategy, when I do speaker, everything I'm doing every day is pretty much the first time I've ever done it in that respect, and particularly within marketing, every client's different, every brief is different. So you're always doing something new. So I think it does build up this real resilience within you as an individual and as a marketeer and as a business leader, because you're constantly proving to yourself, I can do new things every day, and my comfort zone isn't actually a good place for me. Outside of my comfort zone is actually where I should be living all the time, and that's where I feel, like you just said, really accomplished and achieve things.
Well, it's a muscle, isn't it? The more you push against that resistance, and the more you listen to that little voice, listen to Steve, and don't do what they say, I think you get better at it. I think you do start to. That's from my own experience as well. Is obviously the more, because do you know where it gets me? And this is going completely off the topic of what we were originally kind of talking about. However, this is where it really gets me, is if you have a period of time where you've not done it, just because you've been busy, you've had your head in client work, whatever it might be, and you just go a few weeks or a couple of months and you've not set out to kind of push yourself a little bit, those muscles atrophy a little. And that voice gets a little bit stronger. It gets a bit easier to listen to it. So I think that's a factor as well, is that it's constantly, because actually one of the things I wanted to talk about was sort of the strategies around how do you manage it? Like, how do you manage it? How do you sort of push yourself to sort of work through it? And I think from my perspective, one of the big ones is forcing yourself as often as possible to flex those muscles, to train those muscles, and to do something, like you said, that pushes you outside your comfort zone.
I love that muscles analogy. I do a lot of running. I talk about that quite a lot. And
you're training for, is it a marathon?
No, various events that we've got coming up. But I'm always training for something. And I'm always trying to push myself that little bit harder. And that makes sense to me, because you want to see progress. And it's really visible, that progress. You can feel it in your body. You can feel it when you go for a slightly longer run, or you go up slightly bigger hills. And that is a real surge of energy that you get from that. And I think translating that over into the working environment and the way that you run a business is really important. When I speak to some agency owners, or have done in the past, you often find that one of the biggest problems that they find in terms of growing their business is that they've moved back into where they feel comfortable. Client services, for example. So they're managing accounts and they're talking to clients, and they're doing the work.
I've been guilty of that, 100%. And you have to check yourself. You've got to check yourself.
And that's the moment when you look around the business and you think, right, the structure of this business needs to be in such a way that I can go and do what I need to do. Therefore, I need to surround myself with a great operational team that I can lean on, that I can trust, and they will pick those things up. And fortunately, we've really, really got that serotonin. But I think it's a problem for a lot of agency owners and creative industries in particular.
Yeah, massive.